The fight for my daughter's right to exist. The wail of sirens cut through the humid Virginia night as I stumbled out of my front door, my daughter Lily cradled in my arms. Her small frame trembled, her breath shallow and ragged, her lips tinged blue. My phone was pressed to my ear, the 911 dispatcher's voice a lifeline as I shouted our address. The ambulance was seconds away. I could see its red lights flashing at the end of our quiet cul-de-sac. But then, like a scene from a nightmare, a sleek black SUV swerved into the road, blocking the narrow street. The ambulance screeched to a halt. Out stepped Margaret, the HOA president, her arms crossed, her face a mask of cold indifference. She didn't ask if Lily was okay. She didn't move her car. Instead, she fixed me with a steely glare and said, "I warned you about that wheelchair's noise at night. This neighborhood has rules. Maybe this will teach you." My legs nearly gave out. I screamed for her to move, my voice raw with panic, but she stood firm, unmoved as my daughter gasped for air. "If she's so sick," Margaret added, "maybe she doesn't belong here." That moment wasn't just a neighbor dispute. It was a declaration of war. My disabled daughter, my only child, had been targeted by a woman so obsessed with her perfect community that she'd risk a child's life over the faint hum of a wheelchair motor. It started with one complaint, one letter, and spiraled into a living hell. HOA fines, neighbors turning against us, and now this. But Margaret didn't know who she was dealing with. I wasn't just a tired single mom. I was a fighter forged in hardship, and I'd bring her reign of cruelty down, one rule at a time. My name is Susan Mitchell. I'm a 54-year-old widow, a physical therapist, and for the past 8 years, the sole parent to my daughter, Lily. Her father, Tom, died in a work accident when she was 3. A construction crane collapsed, and he was gone before I could say goodbye. From that day, every ounce of my strength went to Lily. She was born with spina bifida, unable to walk, but she's never let that define her. Her wheelchair is her freedom. She paints with a brush in her mouth, writes stories on her tablet, and has a laugh that lights up a room. She's my miracle, my reason to keep going through endless hospital bills and double shifts. We used to live in a cramped Richmond apartment, where broken elevators and narrow doorways made life a daily struggle. Lily was lonely, stuck inside too often. So when I got a job offer at a hospital in a suburban county and found a single-story home in Willow Creek, a gated community with smooth sidewalks and a playground, I thought we'd found paradise. The day we moved in, Lily spun in her wheelchair, giggling, "We're home, Mom." That's when Margaret appeared 60s, pristine cardigan, clipboard in hand. Her smile was too tight, her questions too pointed. "Will your daughter be okay alone with that chair?" she asked, eyeing Lily. I brushed it off, thinking she was just nosy. I was wrong. At first, things seemed fine. We hung fairy lights in Lily's room and baked brownies for the neighbors. I joined the community app, eager to fit in. But Margaret's suggestions started piling up. Lily's wheelchair left marks on the sidewalk. Her motor was disruptive after 9 p.m. Once, she called our ramp an eyesore. I stayed polite, hoping she'd ease up. Then came the first note, taped to our door: "Wheelchair noise violates quiet hours. Please comply." No signature, just judgment. I tossed it, not wanting to worry Lily. But more follow emails, citations, even a noise meter report claiming Lily's trips to the bathroom hit 40 decibels. Lily noticed my stress. One night, I overheard her whisper to her stuffed bear, "I'll stay still tomorrow so Mom doesn't get in trouble." My heart shattered. She was 10, yet she felt like a burden. At the next HOA meeting, Margaret stood up, decrying mechanical disturbances that ruined the neighborhood's peace. I spoke up, explaining Lily's wheelchair, but she just smiled and said, "I'm not naming names." The room stayed silent. No one met my eyes. The harassment escalated. The HOA declared our ramp non-compliant, despite prior approval. A new rule banned kids with mobility devices from the playground without supervision. A clear jab at Lily. Then came the pool incident. Lily was thrilled to try her water-safe chair, but at the gate, a staffer stopped us, citing sanitation risks. Lily's face fell. That night, she didn't paint or laugh. She just stared at her blank canvas. The breaking point came that humid Friday night. Lily's breathing grew labored, her muscles seizing. I called 911, carrying her to the porch as sirens approached. But Margaret's SUV blocked the street. She stood there, casual, as if my daughter's life were an inconvenience. The EMTs had to run 100 yards with a stretcher. In the hospital, as Lily lay hooked to monitors, the doctor said we were lucky she could have died. I sat outside at 3 a.m., sobbing, not just from fear, but from rage. I'd let Margaret chip away at Lily's joy, and it nearly cost her life. No more. I started documenting everything: notes, emails, videos of Margaret's smug lectures. I bought a second phone to record HOA meetings, where I challenged their coded jabs at disruptions. I found allies: Ellen, a retiree who'd seen Margaret stunt from her window, and a young couple who'd kept quiet out of fear. I contacted Laura, a disability rights lawyer from my hospital, and sent my evidence to a local reporter, Diane, who'd covered my charity work. Laura said, "Let's make this big." Diane said, "This is going viral." We sued Willow Creek HOA for ADA and Fair Housing Act violations, citing the ramp denial, pool ban, and ambulance incident. Diane's story hit the local news. HOA blocks ambulance, endangering disabled child. It spread nationally. Disability advocates shared Lily's photo with the caption, "She just wanted water at night." The HOA was flooded with complaints. Margaret's real estate license was scrutinized online. The board panicked, offering to waive fines and repaint the ramp. I refused. This wasn't about concessions, it was about justice. At the public hearing, the room buzzed with reporters and residents. The city's ADA officer presented our case, showing the video of Margaret blocking the ambulance. Gasps filled the air. One board member resigned on the spot. When I spoke, I told them about Lily's courage, how we tried to belong, only to face cruelty. Her wheelchair makes noise, I said. So does injustice. The crowd applauded. The HOA was fined $200,000, ordered to train staff on ADA compliance, and forced to keep our ramp. Margaret was ousted as president and barred from community boards statewide. A week later, I saw neighbors Ellen, the couple, even a teen who'd once avoided us building a new ramp at the playground. Lily wheeled toward it, her laughter echoing. For the first time, she was free. The neighborhood's silence wasn't oppressive anymore. It was peaceful. One evening, Mr. Harris, an older man who'd stayed quiet, came to apologize. "I should have spoken up," he said. I smiled. "You're here now." That night, as I tucked Lily in, she whispered, "I'm glad we stayed, Mom. We hadn't just survived, we'd changed Willow Creek." Lily wasn't the problem. She was the spark that exposed a broken system. Her wheelchair, once a target, was now a symbol of resilience. But the fight isn't over. Another letter arrived from a new HOA, targeting me this time. I'll face it, just as I faced Margaret. For Lily, for every family silenced, I'll keep fighting. What do you think? Have you faced injustice or cruelty in your community? Share your thoughts below. Should we confront bullies like Margaret head-on? Or is there another way? Let's debate and make our voices heard.